Hi, I'm JC and I'm here to help you with your English. Today we're going to be looking at two verb tenses which often cause problems to most English students. And these verb tenses are the simple past and the present perfect tenses. Now, these tenses are not used in the same situations, and the simple past tense is used a lot in English for actions that have happened in the past and they're finished. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some examples of these verb tenses. I have prepared sentences for you in the affirmative, the negative, and in the interrogative forms. And you'll see from the examples the different contexts that these verb tenses are used in. Okay, let's look at the examples that I prepared for you. Here we have slide number 1. Simple past tense. We use the simple past tense when the action is finished in the past. Let's look at the affirmative form. A. After high school, I attended university in Boston. Repeat. Very good. I attended. Notice there's an ed ending. Normally, with regular verbs, we take the base form of the verb, which is the infinitive without to, and we add ed. Attended. B. They studied English in Toronto last summer. Repeat. Very good. Now here we have the verb to study. The infinitive ends in y, but when we form the simple past tense, the y changes to I and we add ed. Studied. C. She bought groceries after work yesterday. Repeat. Now, bought is the simple past tense of the verb to buy. And so we have to be careful with this verb. We can't say she buyed. That doesn't exist. And when children go to school very young, oftentimes they will make that error when they're learning English. And I'm talking about English-speaking children because they use the general rule add ed and they use it everywhere. But I remember when I went to school, I had to learn lists of verbs that were irregular verbs in the simple past tense and also past participles too. So, okay, let's go to the next slide. Here we have the negative form of the simple past tense. A. He didn't attend the meeting yesterday. Repeat. Now, in the negative form, we use did and not. Did not. And when we're speaking, we use the contraction didn't. And then we use the base form of the verb, attend. So, he didn't attend. Let's look at B. They didn't like the movie on TV last night. Repeat. Very good. Let's go to the next slide. Now we have the interrogative form of the simple past tense. Now, to form the interrogative form, we use did again. So look at example A. Did you go to Spain for your vacation? Repeat. So we have did, and then we have our subject, pronoun, and then we have the base form, go. Did you go? Now B. Did she see her parents last weekend? Repeat. Very good. Now let's go to the next slide. Now let's look at the present perfect tense. We use the present perfect tense when the action started in the past but did not definitely finish, or the action finished but is likely to happen again in the future. Let's look at the affirmative form. A. I've eaten sushi many times. Repeat. I've eaten. I've, the contracted form of I have, and that's what we use when we speak. And then eaten, the past participle of the verb to eat. B. He's lived in Italy since 2020. Repeat. He's lived. He's, the contracted form of he has, and lived, the past participle of the verb to live. C. We've often rented camper trailers during our summer vacations. Repeat. We've rented. We've, the contracted form of we have, and rented, the past participle of the verb to rent. Now we have in front of the past participle rented, we have the word often, which is an adverb. And this word could be placed also after the word trailers. We'd have, we've rented camper trailers often during our summer vacations. Okay? Now let's go to the next slide. Here we have the negative form of the present perfect. And we're going to use again have plus the past participle. A. I haven't seen the new Brad Pitt movie yet. Repeat. Very good. And we use the contraction of have not, which becomes haven't. Try it. Repeat. Haven't. Very good. B. She hasn't gone to work yet. Repeat. Very good. So we have hasn't, and then we have the past participle of the verb to go. Gone. And when you're looking at word lists, especially verb lists, that's the third column that you usually see of the verbs. We have usually the infinitive, then the simple past tense, and then we have the past participle. So the past participle of the verb to go is gone. Okay, let's look at C. They haven't decided where they want to go for vacation. Repeat. Very good. And here we have haven't and decided because it's a regular verb. Okay, let's look at the next slide. Now we have the interrogative form of the present perfect tense. So, A. Have you read any novels by the Canadian author Louise Penny? Repeat. So here we see that when we form the question, we start with our auxiliary verb. So have, then the subject pronoun, and then the past participle. Have you read? Have you read? Very good. B. Has she returned to work yet? Repeat. Very good. And C. Have they arrived back home yet? And again, we see, like in example B, the verb ends in ed because it is a regular verb, and it just happens that the simple past tense and the past participle are the same. Oftentimes in questions of this nature, we have the adverb yet is used. So don't be surprised to see that. Sometimes you have the word already also used. All right. These are the examples.